All right, guys. Welcome to another Grease Monkey stream. Another Saturday, 2:30 Pacific Standard Time. It's good to see you. I got this this artificial intelligence background. I messed up my green screen while I was playing VR with the VR headset, and I tore down my green screen wire. Hello, the big hammer. Good to see you. Good. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. How are you doing today? If you're new to the stream, just know that this is. Hello. Hello, Susan. I'm doing well. Like I said, tore down my green screen. So I have this like weird artificial green screen thing going on. It's fine for what it is. Today, this is my intro. What I have 4 minutes. So today, I'm gonna be trying to make a like 3D sci-fi looking scene. First, we're gonna start off in Krita, but just to make some like quick sketches on how we want the composition to look, and then we're gonna go right into Blender, and we're gonna use photographs and textures to model out our scene and what we want and how we want it, and like it's gonna be kind of like a sci-fi pipes and like a radio or something. um it's gonna be atmospheric, it's gonna be a mood. Areolis, I hope I say your name right. Aurelios time. Good to see you all the way from Texas. I hope you're doing well out there in Texas. I hope Texas is treating you right, and I know Texas was going through some stuff. I don't know if it was the whole state, but I hope you're doing well through that situation. So like I was saying, gonna be doing a 3D scene in Blender. We're gonna start off with the quick sketch. We're gonna figure out a composition. We're gonna figure out where we're gonna lay our stuff out, right? We're gonna lay like the thing over here, and then once we have that plan in place, we're gonna then take that into Blender. I took some photographs of this radio that I bought that we're gonna convert into a 3D model. Very quick, very dirty. It doesn't have to look perfect. I'm not gonna try and model like a super like awesome like model. It's gonna work just well enough for what we need it for. And honestly, I took these pictures with my cell phone, and they work great. They work fine. If you're just making some artwork, you don't need like some high-end professional camera. Honestly, the cameras on like iPhones and Androids and stuff, the newer phones are pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see if I can show you the pictures that I'm going to be using. Let's see. So yeah, I took a picture of this radio. I recently bought this radio, and I like the aesthetic. It's like it looks old, but it's like it also looks new at the same time. I really enjoy the aesthetic. We're gonna transfer this into Blender, very quickly and dirty. It's gonna be our centerpiece for our artwork. Um, and then I also took some photographs. I went to last year or 2 years ago. Went to Disneyland, and I went to the Star Wars section thing, and I took a picture of the wall. Like this is like a panel over there in Disney in the Star Wars section. This is another panel on the wall, and we're gonna see if maybe we can incorporate these. This is a grate that I found as well in Disney in the Star Wars section. It's not really metal. It's like, I don't know, some sort of maybe it's aluminum. And then I have some other textures that I've gotten through the internet. They're just like these panels. This is what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna make our pipes. We're gonna use the pipes. We're gonna use this as a texture for our pipes. Sorry, for our pipes. This is like some old tank stuff. This is like some tech machinery. I think these are like servers or something. I think so. Anyway, we're gonna convert these. We're gonna make them. It's gonna be great. So we're about done with our intro here. And we're gonna go to our sketch. Here we go. Don't mind the train and rain in the background. It's just what I listen to concentrate. And also this beeping. Hold on. Woo! Okay, so I'm already in Krita. I already made 4 panels that I'm going to be doing some thumbnails on. We're going to do some quick sketches. And by quick sketches, like, these don't have to look great, you know? I just need to know what I'm trying to accomplish here. So let me pick my brush. I like to use this roller. And we're not going to spend here long. Like, it says, what, 30 minutes? I think we're going to spend 15 minutes here. Maybe 30. Maybe we'll do 30, actually. Maybe I'm pushing it. So let me get this gray value, and we're only going to work in gray value. So let's go to our first thumbnail. What I want to do is, like, I want to have, like I told you, that radio, right? So, so I want this radio, right, to be like this centerpiece, right, where it's like on a pedestal. Maybe it's like huge. Maybe it's like the size of a building, like it's a relic, and there's like tiny little people who are like looking up at it and are like, whoa, look at this ancient technology. And maybe in the future people shrink to the size of like mice. so they're digging through the dirt on the surface of the planet, and then they're in a cave, and then they find this radio there, right? So this is going to be our centerpiece that I wanna do, right? So let's see how we can center it into this frame. This framing that I have here is like the portrait size for Instagram. So that's why I'm working in this like portrait size here. So let's just start painting. We're gonna use some dark. Maybe we want like the radio, right, to be like right here, right? We're like, ooh, yes. Get the radio here. Oh, I forgot my keys. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So we got our radio. Boom. Looking dandy. Maybe we have a little piece down here or whatever. And then we can get this right, and our radio is like boom, dead center. Maybe it's like on a pedestal like this, so we'll draw the pedestal. There we go. And maybe it's like, maybe it's on rubble. Like, let's see if I can do some rubble here. Oh man, forget my keys here. Get some rubble. Boom. And let's do our horizon down on the 3rd here. So and maybe it's in a cave, maybe not, but let's put some swashes down. Let's do kind of something like this. Boom, 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 boom. Right. Maybe we have like these little people down here. Maybe this is too bright. Hold on. Let me lighten this up here. Okay, cool. So we have this, and then we have let's say we have some like tiny little people here, like, ew. Oh man, this thing's huge. This is amazing. This is so cool. Oh yeah. You know, maybe it's like being held down. Ferd, good to see ya. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, but I'm glad you're here now. So maybe we have like some like cables that are just coming off of it. Ooh. Right? Maybe it's like an old relic. Also this radio, right? You can't see it in the picture, but this radio has like an antenna coming out. So let's see if we can incorporate that antenna into this. So let's do something a little brighter here. Maybe the antenna's sticking out. No, that's a little too bright. Maybe the antenna's sticking out. That's a little too close to the background. So let's say our antenna sticking out in this direction. We got like an opposing line going on. And then, you know, the speaker's right here, right? So here's where the speaker's at. And then let's keep looking at our reference here. I should have just had this as a reference. And then we have the dark side here, so that it's like big. What's the rule? Like small, medium, large. So, oopsies. Okay, so we have then this part here that has, all the numbers and stuff. And I keep erasing it. I mean to hit this button. We have like the lines here or whatever. Um and this is cool and all. And I like where we're heading here. But I think I want some foreground elements. So, is the back what's the background like? What's happening here, and what's happening in these corners? I don't like them. I don't like them. So and I keep hitting undo on accident. Maybe we have, I don't know, some sort of elements here, and we're just gonna fill them in. We'll figure it out later. Maybe we're like really far, and this is like rubble and rocks and stuff, or maybe we're like in a cave. So maybe we have, this frames up our thing a little bit better and stuff. Uh, and or maybe there's a bunch of them. Maybe we could put like, you know, things back here in the background. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. I think that's one. I think that's one that we can work with. We could figure out where we're heading with that. Um, so let's try a different one. So another view we can do, I think, is maybe have one when we're like we're down low, right? Like we're down low, and maybe we see it, and we're like looking up it up in their perspective. So this, let's put a horizon line up there, but I'm just imagining it right now. So let's see where if we had something like we have a line like this, and we see the bottom of it. So let's see. What I'm imagining is the bottom of this cube. I'm just trying to work it out here. All right, so let's keep going. Right. And then we can have somebody standing here. So we're a little bit closer to it, right? Feeling this out. Speaker part would be, well, let's color the whole thing. So we got, this makes a little bit more sense. Also, what if oops, we shrunk it down just a little bit. It's a little too big. There you go. Put it down. Okay. Cool. So, we got like maybe it's like really big, so it's at a distance. Maybe these people are down here. Wait. Oops. Where's am I on the right thing? Hold on. There we go. We got little people there. We got this 1 point perspective. Very rough. What we're doing here. And what if, maybe it's broken. Maybe it's missing a piece of it. Right? It's broken on the edge. Maybe the bottom piece is broken too. Boom. Let's do the speaker part. Are we on? What are we on right now? Okay, there we go. Speaker goes like right here. Excuse me if I sing through this. Okay, and then maybe the antenna, sticks out. And maybe this even needs to be a little bit smaller. So that's another one. It's a little bit closer. Maybe we try another one. All right, so let's figure out another way we can look at this. So this one's like really far away. This one's a little bit closer to the ground, and we're like looking at it and stuff. Um, huh. Let me think. Let me think. I'm just gonna start blocking and things just to feel it out. What if I want? Gonna make a big brush. Bird, how's it going? How's life treating you? We're gonna do some of that. Bring it up. So maybe it's on the ground instead of it being on a pedestal. Like if it fell from the sky, right? So let's do that. So let's say it sticks out kind of like this. You know? Kind of sticks out like this. Maybe it has like rubble on it, like psh, pew, rock sticking out. Maybe it's like cratered in there and stuff. And this is the bottom half. Bottom half there, and we can see the bottom. Right. But I do like the cable motif. I want cables. I want to test out a little technique that Spitfire sent me. I've also done before, but we're gonna really try it. Maybe cables coming all into it. And my chat, everything's going well on the stream now, right? Hold on, let me check. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna build out this. There we go. And maybe, we'll carve out where the speaker is. Let's get that antenna that we wanted to be in the shot. And I still want my little people. Maybe like little people on the sides. Maybe they're like really tiny here. Oh man, boom. Get my little people. Something like that. And I think that's enough. We're gonna figure out what we'll put in the background, but we'll do that in Blender. We'll figure it out. Also, I have like a white frame. Maybe it looks better with the white frame. Jiraj, good to see ya. Mr. Jiraj, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. All right, cool. So I have one where it's far away, one where it's closer. I could have drawn it better to be a little bit closer, but closer. One where, we have it kind of like crash or like fell from like the heavens above. The heavens above. Heavens. Okay. So yeah, one falls from the heaven above. And let's do one more. Jiraj, today I'm going to be making a kind of like a CG artwork with pipes and like this radio piece. This is the radio we're going to be using that I'm going to just put into Blender, and it's going to be our centerpiece for this shot. And then I'm drawing out the thumbnails to see what works. And so far, these four thumbnails, I spent like 15 minutes on them. Are all when they're really big and they're small little people, and they're just rough. You know, one on a pedestal, one more on a mountain type of thing, one that crash landed, and maybe we'll do one more big one. I just don't know, have any other ideas. So if any of you 7 people out there watching, have any ideas for this last big thumbnail, please let me know. I'm just gonna start drawing because I kind of don't know what other way we can do this. But it has to be kind of like a centerpiece. Boom. Oops. You know, I'm just drawing. Oh my god, what happened? Okay. Okay. So like maybe we can just take this and start manipulating it. This is like my pseudo cube here. Maybe it's giant. Maybe it goes there. I mean, obviously it's giant. I mean, that's what we're doing here. But like maybe it takes up the whole frame. Right? So maybe it takes up the whole frame. And maybe it takes up the whole frame. I mean, maybe there's like the people here that are like looking at it. They're like studying it or whatever. Look, the little this little character here. It's gonna look a lot better in Blender, I promise. You know, this is like our speaker or whatever, our speaker part. You know, there's just like it being broken there. Maybe there's like a person right here who's like studying it, you know. They got like their little notebook down. And they're like, oh man, what is happening there? And maybe... But I mean, where's the drama in this, right? Where's the drama in this scene? Like, what are we... Is the thing turning on? Maybe it has like little lights. If we look at our reference for the radio, let's see. The only light it has is on the top here. And we have like this thing here. And then, you know, the speaker and stuff. So this will be where, you know, the numbers are at. This will be where the speaker is at. Right. Took me a while to realize this is Krita and not Blender. No, definitely. I'm doing the sketches in Krita because it's just so much easier to sketch out my ideas a lot faster. Maybe the centerpiece in the colony of ants. Yes, I'd still want to incorporate the people, so it'll be a colony of people ants, as small as ants. So for this one, maybe like there's like an opening here. So let's do an opening. And this is just maybe there's like an opening in the speaker. And maybe there is a person, right? But the person's laying on the ground, maybe? So if I'm doing my thing here, okay. And there's a bunch of, like, cables coming out that are, like, attached to him. Like, the speaker is, like, trying to revive him or kill him or just killed him. Let me draw my person a little bit bigger here. And this just has to be a triangle. I have some character people models. You know, maybe it's that. Okay. I think this is in the realm of what I want to do. The speaker. There's people around him. Or Pusuf. Because the speaker, I not say it's a him, no. But the speaker is an entity that exists. I kind of want it to be big. Like if it's like the people, we evolved to be like as small as ants. Or maybe the technology's huge or we made it bigger. Or something of the sort. I think this is where I think we're going to jump into Blender now. Let me make sure my streams are going okay. Sometimes this, oops, sometimes this acts up a little bit. YouTube Studio. Oh, looks like my stream is messing up. Hopefully everybody's still here with me. Darn, I still haven't figured out these issues. Huh? It's fine on Twitch? Looks like it's fine on Twitch. Hopefully... Okay. Well, I still gotta figure out what's happening. There's some settings I still have been fiddling with. So... Okay. Looks like 7 are watching. Here we go. We're gonna move over. We're gonna take these 7 minutes, and we're gonna carry over this energy. We're gonna carry it over to Blender, and then we're gonna start. Right. So let me take a quick break while I set up my desk here, so we can work at maximum efficiency. I'm no longer gonna be drawing, so I don't need this anymore. Also, let me just switch over to break mode here. Oops. We can take off the glove. Beep, 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 beep. Release the blender fingers. The blender fingers. Okay, I got that. Let me put my keyboard down. And while we're on break, you know, let me take a couple sips of my coffee before we start diving in here. I can move my microphone a little closer. I don't know if that helps. So yes, that's exactly why I put this one on. I'm like trying to harness the donut gods to help me with this 3D. Let me make sure this is full screen. Okay. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. On a break right now, just a quick break. We're not gonna take the full 10 minutes. Today's only gonna be a 2-hour stream. I've been streaming for 5 minutes. It looks like. So. Well, it says 5 minutes. Did my stream mess up? My stream definitely probably messed up. Boo. Anyway, so we're gonna be streaming for 2 hours today. So I'm gonna try and get this through. So as a recap, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get this scene, right? We're gonna use the radio as a centerpiece into 3D. We're gonna make a scene where the radio is the centerpiece, and there's tiny little people that are being, I don't know, they're worshiping. They're asking Jurash, it's like, what is the meaning of life? Maybe they're questioning the meaning of life. Maybe the radio was human first, huh? And then it became, and the ants are the radios. Okay, we're getting too far into that, but oh man, so this is what we're gonna do. I can point at this. So yeah, so we're gonna do these thumbnails, and we're gonna figure out which one works in 3D, since I can move the camera wherever, we can work it wherever. But I'm going to be using photographs, and then I'm going to stylize those photographs into 3D, and then we're going to see what we're going to make. Okay, guys? We're going to see what we're going to make. Okay. So, let's go to... It's called drawing, but we're going to be doing 3D. So let's do that. Okay, we're back. We're back at it. We're to get through. So let's start off with our centerpiece. So first things first. So I'm in Blender. I'm gonna erase the cube. I'm gonna leave the light. We're gonna call this collection utility. There we go. Nope. Something's wrong with my keyboard. What is happening with my keyboard? Hold on, guys. My keyboard's messing up. I may need to change the batteries. Hold on, I feel like my keys are slipping. We can do this, keyboard. Don't die on me now. Oh my god, so many. Utility. Okay, keyboard's back. It's alive. We're doing this. Utility, we're gonna make another collection. We're gonna press that button, take the collection out, and we'll call this radio. So we're gonna keep everything in this like little radio section. What I'm gonna be using is an add-on. Let's see if I have it turned on. Images to planes. That's what we're gonna do. Images to planes. And we'll start modeling from that. So let's go to images from plane. Sci-Fi modeling. George says, I feel like the people should be worshipping the radio. I think that's a pretty good idea. Maybe we can do that. So, let's get our radio. And I have the original version. And then I have one that I edited to make smaller. So, we're going to do the edited version. That's tiny. So, let's rotate this on the Z30. You can't see anything. We're going to go into rendered mode. And we're going to... There we go. Rotate it. And right now it's a little dark. Also, we're going to take off this grid. Don't like it. So we got the grid here. And we're going to move this light. Maybe we should change it into... Also, let me make a separate window here for you guys to be able to... Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me make a separate window here for you guys to be able to see what the camera sees. So let me take off all this superfluous stuff here. Boom, boom. We're also going to be needing our shader. Where's our shader? Shader editor. And we're going to move our camera. We're going to make it be seen. You're going to be able to see it. And we're going to move it down. So let's do G, Z. The picture's a little crooked and I took it on my phone. But I'm just showing you that your photos don't have to be beautiful for this to like even work properly. Okay, so there we go. We have our material here. And we'll call the material radio. That's great. And what else can we do here? Let's take away all this superfluous stuff. So we're going to take off this, that. And then in the camera view, and I learned this, it took me a while to figure it out, but in the passport, I can make, you know, like the borders of it, I can make them dark. We're also going to make the same shape or the ratio that I want. So the ratio that I'm using is the Instagram portrait, right? So that's 1080 by 1350. All right, so we'll hit home, and we're gonna get rid of these headers. And now we got basically what we're working on here. You can see it on the left side, and on the right side is what I'll be working on. Okay, so first thing I want to do is we're gonna cut off this knob, and we're just gonna add it in afterwards. So, and also let me make the camera invisible. Okay. So when I'm in edit mode, right, I can move the points, and it kind of like stretches out the material, which is not what I want. Like if I had this material here, see that my material gets all stretchy and stuff, and I don't like that. So if I remember correctly, if you go to Tools, Options, and then you go Correct Faces, so it corrects data such as UVs and vertex colors when transforming. I select this. Now, it shouldn't have it shouldn't stretch. So, what I'm going to do is these corners, you see how these corners are rounded? These corners, we need to bevel them. And to bevel them, we have to go into vertex mode to press 1. And I know the shortcut key for this is kind of like a finger crunch. It's Control-Shift-B? Yes. And that's how you bevel. So Control-Shift-B is the way to do that. But I guess if you wanted to do it normally, you go to Vertex. And is it here? It's called like bevel. Point bevel. Vertex bevel? All I remember is the shortcut key for it. It's Control-Shift-B. Mesh. Anyway, so I'm going to select it all. Control-Shift-B. That bevels the mesh, excuse me. And you can see that I need to do some cutting here. But if I scroll on the scroll wheel, you see that I got my rounded edge. Now I'm going to try to match his rounded edge as best as I can. I think right around here. It doesn't have to be perfect. We'll do it quick and dirty. And now I have my rounded edge. And now I can select these points. I can grab them, bring them a little closer. I'm going to select the point at the top with the box select here. Grab them, bring them down. All right. Pick the bottom half, grab, hit Z, bring these up to the top. And my picture wasn't taken perfectly. Like it's like kind of messed up on how it's taken. So I'm going to just cut off some more here. And hopefully that works. Or maybe, what if I just cut off the bottom edge? Let's see if that works for me. What if I just grab these? See how messed up it looks. You know what? It's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's in rubble anyway. There we go. And we're going to grab this one, and we're going to bring it out to the side here. Boom. And we're going to grab these. We're just grabbing the corners. Bringing them close. Okay. So now we have our radio. We took it from an image and brought it into the 3D space. So, something you also need to have enabled if you're following along, I may be going a little fast though, is a node wrangler. Because if you select the image, this is the texture of the radio, the one that I was showing you before, and you hit Control T, you'll get these nodes here. Don't want to get into the nitty gritty here, but basically what I'm doing is I'm using the image itself, converting it to black and white with a color ramp, and I'm using that as a roughness, right? And that gives it a roughness feel. So you can see that there's like you can see that the holes are being individually reflected, or like not reflected, I should say. And you can see it. The most the change is when I move the ramp here. You see how the light's kind of barely hitting it, and if I reverse it, you see that there's like a shine on the the buttons and stuff up here. So let's see which way it's supposed to go. I think it's probably this way. Like that. Let's see if we make it metallic, if that makes it like look better. All right. Metallic right here. Maybe we'll make it halfway metallic. And now this is kind of looking more interesting, and this is being affected by the light. So let's, where's this light? I can't even, there it is. So this is being affected by this light. Let me bring it closer, and you can see on the right here, or not on the right, but on the left here, that it is being affected by the light. Let me bring down the light. There we go. And the light is like super bright now, like in front of it. And you can see that it's really being affected for it. Let's make the light weaker. So let's go to the lighting materials. So let's put 10. And let's start bringing it up. And you can see, I think you can affect the tint of it too, right? Like, yeah. So see, this is the way this color is changing is because the light's being a different color. Changing into a different color. So we're just going to make it normal color. We're also going to make this bigger. Maybe smaller. Make it real tiny. It's a little point light. Okay, cool. So we have our light going on. I want to make it weaker. Maybe it shouldn't be metallic. Maybe it should be normal. Or maybe fully metallic. I don't know. I think metallic kind of gives it a nice, interesting feel. But maybe that's just me. Okay, so we got that. And then another thing I want to do is add a bump map. Sometimes this looks good, sometimes it doesn't. So the same thing, we're going to duplicate this gray. I mean, this color ramp. But then we're going to add in a vector bump map. We'll put the bump map to the height. And we'll put the bump into the normal. And if you look at it, it kind of gives it like a very dark feel. It's because our strength's really high. But let's add in our strength slowly. So if we're looking at it at an edge, I'm just gonna, and you can really see it on the left side here. It kind of gives like a weird material. It gives it like a bumpy material. Like it's like trying to find the texture in the metal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna half it. And, you know, since it's like destroyed and fallen and stuff, like our reference image, you know, I think it's fine if it's like a little bumpy. Like, look how crunchy that looks. Super crunchy. So, there we go. We have the distance. We could definitely, let's invert it. Let's see what the difference is. I can barely tell a difference. Like, look at that texture-y feel. I guess you could tell on the words here, like the word band. If I hit invert, it kind of looks like it's in or out, right? Like sticking out or sticking in. We could definitely mess with this later, and I think we will. So I think we have our material right now set up for our radio, which is our main centerpiece. And now we're going to extrude it. So let's go to edit mode. I'm going to hit 3 for face. I'm going to select the face, and I'm going to hit E. And I'm going to extrude it out like this. There's something funky going on right here. So let me go into the materials. And I think it's show back face. We need to take this off. Show back face. Ticked off. Now we got our radio. That's looking kind of fine. It looks. I think it looks pretty good, actually. So let's see if we can do anything else here. Can we, we'll inset it. Susan says that looks cool. Yes, thank you, Susan. And it was just taken, this is just a picture from my phone. I have like an old Pixel 2 phone. Okay, cool. So I chose the face. I hit I to inset it, and then I hit E, and I'm extruding it again. And you can see I can like give it some depth here, give it like another point of dimension. So I'm gonna hit E. We'll bring it out. Beautiful. And then we'll keep it like that. I think that's pretty good. Actually, I think I inset it too much. Let me inset it a little bit. I hit I, inset, right about there, then E. Oops. Then E. And now we're in set. And then another thing I want to make sure I have set is go to the object data properties, go to normals, auto smooth, and that should be fine. Okay, cool. So this is our picture. So just to, as a reminder, guys, this. Oh man, my what is it, Siri? My Google AI is talking. Some scary stuff. Okay, so yeah, this came from a picture, guys. This is the same picture. All I did was add a picture, put a material, throw some nodes in there, and it came from this. And it's already getting to a place I think it's looking kind of fun. And you don't need, it wasn't that much super intense modeling. Obviously, you could do a lot more with this. Hold on, my Google AI is like, is it just playing music? So my Google Home just started playing The Weekend. So it's my Google Home's in a mood today. If you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so cool. So this is looking great. What I don't like is the edges here, and this is how we're gonna fix these edges. So we're gonna go into non-shaded or non-lit. So this looks, so we could see what we're doing here. You see how we have all the, how do you say, the stretchy stuff on the sides here? It don't look so good. No good, no good, no good. So we're going to fix that by UV unwrapping it, but we're gonna do it selectively only for that. So we're going to go and change this panel to UV editor, and we're gonna make sure it's on our radio image. Here's our radio image, right? And we're gonna go into edit mode, and if I hit 3, right, and I hit hold alt and press the edges that are messed up, so that, let's do this edge, is you see that what's selected is this little edge corner here. Oh no, it's nothing selected. Hold on, let me make sure it's matched up. Is it here? Maybe you don't. Maybe we don't need it. I'm just gonna explain it. So right now we want to unwrap this, but the way we unwrap things, you gotta imagine it like clothing, like the seams in your clothes. You know how your shirt's not usually is not just made of one piece that was made all the way through. Usually there's like a seam at the on the wrist, on the shoulders. You can see mine there, and there's a seam sometimes in the bottom, goes all the way through. So that's what we're doing here. So we're gonna mark a seam, and we're gonna mark it at this bottom, because that's like the part we're not gonna see. So I'm gonna hit 2, pick the edge, and that's the seam like of a shirt, imagine it, to that we want to set. So choose the line or choose the edge, Control E, and then we're gonna do mark seam. Now you can see that that edge is cuts. That's where the seam is at. The computer knows this is where the seam is at. So now when we select everything, or select the band and hit U and unwrap, you can see that our band here is now a nice long rectangular piece, which is perfect. And you can see that this material is transferring onto this band here, right? Because when I hit G in the editor, you can see that it's now the graded look, right? Like this is like the grates on the outside. Yeah, this is the grate on the outside, and that's honestly not what we want, right? So we're gonna grab that, and we're going to just use the same texture. We're gonna grab it and we're gonna pick a piece apart that, you know, is just plain. So let's just pick this empty area of the radio. Okay, cool. So now there's our radio, and it has the edge looking a little bit better. It looks better, much better, a better. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same for this edge. So we gotta go to the bottom where I want the seam, select it, Control E, mark seam, press 3 to go back to face mode, hold Alt, select the edge. There we go. It's all selected. Hit U, unwrap. We got our nice little thin piece here. We'll grab it. We'll move it over. Maybe we can put it somewhere here in the center. We'll shrink it. You know, and look, the back has like the same image. All right. Just checking my streams, making sure everything's going okay. 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 So we got our image. It's looking pretty cool. I like it. I don't like this faceted edge, but it shouldn't matter too much, I hope. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh no, right click smooth. There it is. Yes, Jiraj said it right when I thought it. We thought it at the same time. Yes, so you gotta right click smooth because it was flat before, and that's where you can see these edges. Jiraj was right. Right click, shade smooth. Boom. We got this looking great. All right. I think this works for me. Maybe one other thing I want to fix is this particular edge here. So like when it's flat against here, this edge. I think I want it to be dark. I think that will cause the separation. So let me make a seam, same thing. I'll make the seam here. Control E, mark. Oop, nope. Control E, mark seam. Choose the faces. There we go. Hit U, unwrap. For some reason it came as a whole circle. And I think I'm gonna just shrink it. Let's see. Maybe we can. Let me do something else. Let me do unwrap. Let's do follow quads by length. So this ended up looking weird, but let's see if we can make it work. And I'm gonna try some different unwrapping methods because for this particular case, it doesn't have to like be detailed. I just kind of want a color on it. All right, let's try unwrap. Smart UV. Let's see. You know what? I'm spending way too much time on this little detail that nobody's gonna care about. So let's just do what I did before. So we'll do unwrap. Oh no, we'll do follow active quads length average. Or follow active quads even. And I have this add-on called Text Tools. It's a free add-on, and this is how I square up my UVs. So now my UVs are square and really long. Don't need to be that long. We'll rotate them on the X, and we'll make sure they match up. So scale. Grab. We'll fill it right here. Okay, this is what I wanted. I wanted kind of like that black line. I wanted that separation. It's looking a little better now. Maybe it's too dark. Hold on. Let's try what the light looks like. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's do this. Anyway, we'll fix that later. Once again, spending too much time on this. So the next thing I want to do is make the antenna, and we will make the antenna with just a cylinder. So let's make a cylinder, and I'm gonna, where is that thing? Hold on. But see, there's the radio. Oh, it's blocking it. There it is. I'm looking at the antenna to see what it looks like. Gotta use that reference. And all this is just a cylinder, right? Like a silver cylinder. It has 1, 2, 3, about 4, 4 pieces to it that extend out. So that's what we'll do. We'll make a cylinder. We will do auto smooth. Yeah, shade smooth. Auto smooth there. I'm going to immediately give it a material, and I'll call it antenna. Antenna. And then we're gonna put it metal. Oops. We'll go to our shader. Metallic. Put down the roughness. Now we got a super shiny antenna. Maybe we'll put the roughness up. Something like that. Great. So something I like to do is I like to put the origin at the bottom. So I hit select the bottom there. And I'll hit cursor to selected. Right click, set origin, 3D cursor, Alt G, and that brings it up right flat to the world, right? So now I'm gonna choose the top. So I hit 3, choose the top, hit G and Z. And I'm gonna make this smaller. So let's see. Active origin. I think Alt S. No, it's not Alt S. Oh, is it Alt S? What is this? Is this shrinking? Oh, it is shrinking. So, what I'm gonna do, I want to make it. I want to make it thinner, right? So what I'm gonna do is a cool trick. Obviously, there's a lot of easy ways to do this. So if you select it all and you hit S, it makes it bigger and smaller, right? And if you hit like X, it makes it bigger, on the X axis, or Y, it makes it bigger on the Y axis, or Z, Z, and it makes it bigger, taller. But if you hit Shift and the axis you don't want, then it'll scale it by the 2 other axes, right? So I'll hit S, and I don't want to scale it. I don't want it to be bigger. I just want it to be thinner. So Shift Z, and now I can make it thin, right? I'm gonna need my radio here just to see as a reference. Good to see how big I should be making it. And yes, it definitely needs to be a lot thinner. Shift S, Shift Z. We'll make it thinner like this. We'll make it smaller. And I'm also going to bring it up to where it's going to be. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm going to bring it up to where it's going to be by going to the right, bringing it up here, bringing it over here. It's confusing because the radio is facing both sides. So wait. So this is the front. Maybe I should change the back, honestly. Okay. So I'm gonna change the back real quick. So let's go to shader. We're gonna do it real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So let's go to UV editor. I'm gonna go back to my radio, select the back face. Now it's over here in the UV editor. If I select it all, I'm just going to shrink it down to, I don't know. I'm gonna shrink it down to the silver here. It obviously looks terrible because it's using such little material or such little of the texture for such large amount of space there. But I think it's fine. It's fine for now. And then we can always remember where the front is instead of me having to struggle over here figuring out where that is. Okay. So we got our antenna and we will now start building it up. So I hit the numpad so I can zoom up to it. I think that's the correct thickness. I'm looking at it on the left side here. And I'm going to make it, give it all the pieces, right? So edit mode, press 3, choose the face. We're going to take a real quick break. I'm not going to spend the whole 10 minutes, just a quick stretch break. So 1 second. All right, guys. Ugh. Gonna do a quick stretching. This is very important. I really don't want to take this break, but you got to fight through that. You know, you got to take your breaks, breathe a little bit, get your stretching out. You don't want to be hunched over. Your lower back matters. Your health matters. You know, and the more you do this type of stuff, the longer that you can work on your projects. Ugh. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask right now, or tell me how your day is, or what you're doing, or how we're going, or anything of the sort. I'm not, like I said, not using the full break, just getting a quick stretch in. Getting that donut energy. Flowing through my veins. Gerard says, yeah, you also don't want to burn out. And yes, I've burned out a million times in my life. And it took me a long time to learn the lesson to stop burning out. Okay, I think I'm good with stretching. We're gonna get right back to it. Okay. So we have our antenna, and we're gonna make it a little smaller here, and then this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna select it, look at it, press I, inset it. Only inset it. Let's do it by an actual increment. 0.1. That's not. Ooh, we got a question. So, Areolus time. Aurelio. I can't say your name. Aurelios time. Any books or anything you recommend for learning Blender? So, Aurelios, I would really recommend a lot of honestly the YouTube channels. I made a video. Let's see. YouTube.com. Let me see if I can put this in the chat for you. Let me put this in the chat. Blender, Grease Monkey. Add the queue. There we go. All right. I definitely would recommend YouTube videos and following them and making stuff. So here's a YouTube video that I made that has like 15 different YouTubers that you should check out and different websites that you should check out if you just want to learn Blender overall. It's very useful. There's like resources for like the basic stuff. There's grease pencil stuff because usually that's on my channel. That's what people usually want. You know, how to model. Definitely check out that video. Check out those links. If you don't want to watch the video, the links are in the description. And check those out. And that's how that'll be the best way. I'm not sure about how learning Blender through a book. Like, I'm sure that would be useful, but I definitely think video form is the way to go. So hopefully that helps you out. Skillshare, from what Susan said, is another one. Giraffe, you're addicted to Valheim. Yeah, is Valheim good? Cause like I hear it's doing really good. It has a bunch of updates too that are coming out. They're really supporting it. All right, so let's do 0.001. We'll extrude it. Can you even see that? Okay, let's do extrude 0.009. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4. Yeah, like Gerard says, Aurelio's time, Blender updates so quickly that things could change. That's why people usually don't dedicate a book to it or anything like that. Just follow the YouTubers that I listed in that video. You'll find a lot more on your own for the specific things that you want. Follow that website that's on there, Blender Nation, that gives you updates for like, not updates, but like just things that are happening in the Blender community and the Blender stuff. That's the best way. No books. Okay, so 0.004 is what I'm going to do because I can actually see it here. And you can see it right here. See there's a separation. Maybe it's a little too much, but we're going to do it. We'll grab it. We'll move it up. We'll do it again. We'll hit I. 0.004. Do it again. And maybe we'll just do 3. This top half now. We will just put that little, what is that? Like a little ball. It's like a little cylinder at the top of the ball there. So we'll hit E. We'll hit S. Oh no, I did doing something wrong here. So I'm gonna hit the period key and do active element. So now when I scale, it scales from there. So I'm gonna hit E, but hit right click so I cancel it, and then I hit S, and that's how I'm gonna bring this like cylinder on top. There we go. So now we got an antenna. And maybe the material needs to be worked on. I'm looking at it from over here. Maybe I should change the lights that we can work with. So let's... What if we did a sun? We'll do a sun right now that's at the... Going from the top left there. Sun doesn't actually have to be in the scene here. And maybe we'll make the material... even less rough. Maybe that's too rough. Oh, I know what's happening. I don't have an environment map. So let's put an environment map on our background. So we're gonna go to our shader, put the world. We're on our background. I'm gonna hit Control T. That puts in all the nodes that we need. And I have a couple environment maps in my assets that I here. Let's see. Where are they? Where are they? Do I not have them anymore? Textures. Oh, there they are. HDRIs. There we are. And we're just gonna use, you know, this tunnel one because that feels like what we're gonna be in. And I'm gonna use, there's a reference here, JPEG. Okay, environment. There we go. All right. Now our scene's just being lit. Oh no, this is specifically being lit by our environment, so it looks a lot better, that antenna, and that's why I have it. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. So the next thing I want to do is, I think this antenna needs to be bigger because it gets pretty large. and it's a little thick of an antenna. So we're gonna do the thing I told you before. We go to edit mode, hit A, and we'll hit scale, and we don't want to scale it from the Z, so we'll hit Shift Z, and that's how we'll make it thinner. There we go. And then we'll rotate it, and since we're the origin's at the bottom, it rotates a lot easier. So we'll rotate it on the Y. All right, and then we're gonna parent the antenna to the radio. So I'm gonna select the first one. I select the child, and then I select the parent. Right, that's how it works. And then Control P, set parent to object, and that's how you do it. And there you go. So now when I move the radio, now we got this radio, which is gonna be our centerpiece. Our centerpiece here. Okay. And I think it's looking pretty cool, man. Like, look at that. That's all we really need. That's what we need to get this message across, or whatever. So boom. That's done. We're gonna save this piece. Make sure we're doing it. We'll call this Radio Relic. There we go. Radio Relic. And let's look at our sketch. Okay. So we want to have it either on a pedestal or maybe on some debris. And I think I want it on maybe some debris. So let's get that. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this radio up. It's out of our scene. Bring it down. Bring this a little further back here. And this is our scene. So I need some scale for reference. So I have an add-on called KitOps. It's a paid add-on, and there's some humans here that I'm going to be using that are not showing up right now. One second. Let me make sure that they're showing up. KitOps. KitOps. Path. Boom, boom, boom. KitOps, accept, boom. Okay, we got our peeps. So here's some people I have. These are just going to be temporary add-ins, and I'm just using this as a reference. We're going to have this scientist guy who's just kind of like looking up. Was he inserted? Where is he? There he is. There he is. Okay, so we got our dude, and he is looking okay. Here's our guy. Here's our guy. And he looks like he is 1.65 meters. I think that's about the scale that we want to. So let's get this camera and let's start positioning our camera where we want it to be. So for this camera, we can always go into the settings and make it the camera that we want it to be. We control this world. We control this Blender world. Okay, so camera, we select the little presets here. We got a lot of cameras that we can choose from. We got the Black Magic. We got Canon 1100D, full frame. We're just going to keep it simple. We're going to do Super 35mm. So we're going to select that. And then, since this is going to be a huge, gigantic radio, I want a wide lens. So we're going to do an 18mm wide lens. Super wide, right? And then we're going to start scaling this radio up to to the degree that I want it. So let's add in a floor because I need to be able to see our floor here. All right. Also, for this floor, let me just add in a quick texture just so I can deal, guys, just so I can deal with my life that I'm living here. Okay, so we got the nodes, we'll add in a texture. We're gonna add in a metal texture. This is not gonna be a texture I'm gonna use, or maybe I will. But let's use, you know, I don't know, this metal texture. It doesn't matter. All right, and then this light is a little bright. So let's bring down the light. Okay. So we got this metal texture going on. You can see in the camera view here. We got our scene starting to build, starting to feel something, right? So we're gonna move this back, move this up. All right. And it's gonna be ugly, guys, but we're gonna just multiply this floor so we have some distance here. We're gonna do some zeros. We're gonna do 1. And we're going to add in some distance there. I'm gonna go to edit, and I'm gonna stretch this out. And since I have this option over here, correct faces, it's not stretching out my material. It's just repeating it over and over and over again, which I think is kind of neat, you know. Okay, cool. So we're starting to build up how we're looking. The camera right now is looking straight on. And by straight on, I just mean that it has, let's see if I can show you. It has no rotation, right? So this is the camera. I want it to be looking up. Like, this is going to be like a monumental, like, moment, right? Like, not moment, but, or we can, like, you know, slant it. Well, maybe we'll do that. I don't know. So this is looking left and right. Okay, so then, you know, we want it to look kind of like up. Right? So I'm going to make it look up 100 degrees. So instead of 90 degrees, it's looking slightly up. I'm also going to bring it down. I mean, closer and down. So we're on the floor right now. And that's how big this thing is. And maybe we want to rotate it even higher. So on my camera, I want to add in some compositional guides for me so I could start really framing this puppy up. This pupperino. This pupperoo. Composition guides, it's in the tab here for the camera. We're gonna put thirds, and we're gonna have to see it through here so I could see it. So this is broken up into thirds, and our horizon's just below our lower third, which I think is a good spot for it. Cool. We're looking up at 108 degrees. Our shot's looking kind of cool here. And now I want from our from our sketch here, right? You know, we got the little people down here, or, you know, up close, and we're gonna make the scale of this radio a gigantic. So let's make it huge, and we're gonna decide to see how big it is. So it's kind of further back. We'll bring it up. We'll rotate it. Let's rotate it on the X 90. Okay. So right now it's standing up right flat, right? But, you know, maybe we want it to be a little tilted. So let's tilt it out like this. Kind of break up our composition. And maybe it's in the ground. Like this? Maybe? Maybe in the ground? So right now, all I'm looking at is at the top left. I'm just seeing how this is breaking up my scene. You know, I got like this empty space of triangle. I got my guy here in the middle. Should my guy be further back? Let's see. No. No, he shouldn't. He should probably be up close to it. Nope, maybe a little further. Let me go back to my composition here. Maybe he shouldn't even be centered. Maybe he should be kind of like here, and maybe he's rotated. Like, whoa, this thing's like effing huge. Kind of seems like some electroshop commercial. It does. We're gonna add some style, Jiraj. We're gonna add some style, some color style, and make it look like the best electroshop commercial you have ever seen. All right, so we got our dude here looking at our giant radio that's looking awesome. And then we got our antenna here, and maybe I want to move this antenna. So I'm gonna hit R for rotate, and then Y, and then I can start really directing it. Maybe I'll have the antenna point right at the corner. So if you're looking at the top frame here, we have the zigzag going on. We have the corner, we got the antenna, goes all the way down. We see the radio, and then we go to this guy right here. So this is pretty good. I think I'm liking it. And you know, we can move him maybe a little closer there, and then maybe we can move the camera a little further up. Like this. Maybe he's at waist level. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, you know, what's this guy looking at? You know, he's just looking at it. He's like, wow. Wow. Wow, it's amazing. Who would have thought? What is this thing? It's like a... Pay... Nay... Sanic. Panasonic. Okay, enough jokes. Alright, so I like it. It's cool. This is kind of like more what I'm going. We could definitely add some more people, but right now we'll keep it at this. Also, maybe let's see what it looks like if it's tilted a little on the opposite axis. So let's tilt it like this. Is the glint too much? I mean, we can always fix this lighting, but should it be tilted up to that? Tilted down to the bottom? No, no. This kind of gives it some better dynamic here. And then this light. Where's this light at? Oops. There we go. Alright, so we're fixing that light. Also, let's see what some different lighting would do. You know, alright, let's not play with color right now. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Getting ahead of myself. We shouldn't play with color right now. Not yet, at least. Not yet. There we go. Okay. So we're getting there. We're moving along. So now the next thing I want, right, is going to be... So I was thinking of being on a pedestal, but I think the more I think about it, I think it should be on rubble, on debris, you know, something like that. And then we're going to add some cables to it that I think would be kind of cool to do. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to make some rubble, and let's see if we can do it in a reasonable way. So I'm going to hold shift and right click so my my 3D cursor goes underneath the radio, and I'm doing that because I'm going to be spawning a cube. So let's make the radio invisible for now. We'll keep our guy there. And we will spawn a cube. Here's our cubey. Our cubey cube. And we're going to go into edit. We're going to scale it up. Maybe move it a little to the left. Like this. We're going to move it up, floating into the sky. And another thing I want to do is I want to hit right click subdivide. So now we're broken up into 4 cubes. 4 cubes. Well, 4 faces. It's not broken up into 4 cubes. Because this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hit save because this may break, not break, but this may crash Blender. So I want to make sure that I have the cell fracture add-on. It comes with Blender activated. We're gonna use some cell fractures, and this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna plow through. We're gonna make this. Okay, so we will do that. Okay. So hit save. Cell fracture is activated. I'm gonna clear this space. Clear the room. We're about to make some debris here. We're about to make some debris. All right. So I have the cube selected. Hit F3 and that brings up a search for Blender, right? Like you can like search through. You can type in anything. You can type in edges. You can type in blah blah blah. Like if you forgot where something was, but you remember the name, you can hit F3 and search for it. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so we're gonna do fracture, right? And I think this is the one. Cell fracture, quick effects. It's gonna bring up this menu, which is great. I usually like to put some noise on there. Sometimes I put recursion. Let's do one. I usually do it first without it. Recenter. Put interior vertex groups. That's important for later for texturing the inside if we want to texture it. Mass, and we're gonna do its own particles, and we hit OK, and let's hope it works. Sometimes this doesn't work. We have to fiddle with some settings. So this didn't work. Well, it did work. It just didn't work the way I wanted it. So we're gonna undo that. I'm going to do it again. F3, cell fracture. And let's do source limit. Let's put 200. Let's try it again. Even worse. What I'm trying to avoid here, because this sometimes happens, is that they come up too square-like. I'm trying to see if I can mix that up. What if I put noise to 1? This is better. See, this is a lot less square. So I like that. And what the recursion did is that it broke it up into these big blocks, and then it chose those blocks and it did it again. So that's why you see some of these blocks have extra stuff. So these settings are getting better. Let's see. Let's do, what if we did big? I'm just curious what would happen. Okay, cool. So we just have giant blocks. Okay. Great. Let's do it again. F3. Quick. We'll do small. What if we did 500? This may break it. Okay, okay. I'm liking this. Sorry, guys. We're gonna see how cool this is very soon. I'm just trying to get the perfect the perfect cut. Recursion 1 is good. And if we did like, let's do something that may break it. Let's do 2000. Okay, so the numbers aren't doing what I think they're doing. So let's go back. And if anybody has used this, please let me know in detail. I just mess with these settings. I don't really. 0.5. Uh-oh. Okay. I think these settings are good. If anything, we'll do some duplicating, right? So right now, we have all these chickens. No, all these rocks in place. So I'm going to make sure that they are in their own group. So I'm going to hit M, and we're going to call this rocks. And we're moving it to a collection on itself. So we can obviously deactivate the rocks. I'm going to erase this. Well, not erase, but I'm going to make the cube no longer visible on anything. So let's get rid of that. So now all we have is all the pieces of these rocks. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add physics to them. Once again, I really hope this doesn't this doesn't break. And I'm going to let the rocks fall onto the ground, and then I'm going to move the rocks around. So we smashed the cube. It's all shattered. It's going to fall. We're going to make them fall. It's got to be all do tumble. And once they settle down, we'll move them around. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so what was the fast way to do this? I used to know a fast way, but I haven't done this in a while. So my thinking noise. Sorry if it's annoying for you. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. I'm like trying to get into the depth of my memory. Rigid body, dynamic. Change at the mesh. Great. So we added it to 1, and this is how we can copy it to the rest of them. So let's add in a rigid body as well. This one is going to be not dynamic, and let's see this rock fall. It didn't touch it. There it is. So there's our rock falling. And it's a beautiful thing. Okay, so now we have our one cube that's selected. And we're going to select all the cubes in this box. We're going to select the cube that... oh my god. We're going to select the cube that has the stuff on it. Think it's... we're going to stumble through this. I forgot what these keys were. Is it Control L? No, we're not linking the data. We want to copy the data to the rest of them. Gosh darn it, and I forgot keys for it. 1 second. Should have rehearsed this. Okay, Control L. Modifiers? Okay, let's take a break. Maybe I can research this real quick to figure out. Okay, guys. Okay. If you guys are out there, thank you for sticking around. We're on our break right now. We're making the rebel. We're doing the scene. We're trying to get it done. We're trying to get it done in a reasonable time, in a reasonable manner. Technically, I only have 30 minutes left. I don't think I'm going to finish it in 30 minutes. Unfortunately, I have some things to do today. But, you know, let me do some researching here on the Blender, apply. Oh, it's already in the search. Oh, look how easy that is. Okay, that was easy, guys. So, yes, Susan, you got it. Rigid body under objects. I'm over here struggling. Thank you. While we're on the break here, I'll just do it now. So, like you guys said, it's under object. Go to rigid body. Rigid body. There it is, rigid body, and then copy from active. The active one is the yellow one that I have, and I did it. So now they should all fall. Let me save before this like explodes. There we go. So I like it, but I don't like it, right? So let's try this again. Let's go back. Let's hit the period key, put bounding box center, And I'm gonna rotate this. Rotate it like that. And also, could I just do a cell fracture just on this one? Let's see. No recursion. But do these have the modifier once they're cut? They don't. But if I select one, and then I do object, rigid body copy from active, then they will. Oh my god! That shit exploded! I think I added a rigid body to the camera. Is that why? Oh no, the floor. The floor is like something's happening here at the floor. Okay, so this is not. If you have two colors set before you do the cell fracture, you have different colors for the inside. Nice. I have it, Susan, I have it so I have the vertex groups as when you do the cell fracture, I do interior V groups, interior vertex groups, right? So then if I wanted to have a different color on the inside, let me just rotate this for you to see it. When I'm in edit mode, I can hit select, and it's supposed to select only the interior. It's not doing it now that I'm trying to show it. Oh no, there it is. And it selects the interior. Or it doesn't. No, is it 3? Is it in face mode? Well, that's usually how I do it, Susan. But obviously it's not working. So what is happening here that my floor's falling? Oh, it's back to dynamic? Is that what happened? Oh my goodness. It looks pretty cool though. It looks pretty cool. So let's do this. Let's start this over now that I know that, and we can iterate this faster. Oops. Okay. Person. Cube. Make it big. There. Subdivide it. I'm gonna subdivide it a couple times there. We're gonna do F. We're gonna rotate the cube. Let's see if it being rotated affects the cell fracture. So rotated, F3 cell fracture. Let's do 200 recursion. Yeah, everything feels like it broke. Right when I did it. Okay, so this is doing that thing I was talking about where it's like making it into cubes, and it's just a weird thing. Okay, we're working through our break garage. No midnight snacks. Okay, so cell fracture. Let's put 1. Let's put 300. Own particles, sharp edges, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Recenter. Okay, so I like these settings. So let's do it. Hopefully this is not screwing up my stream. Anyway, but we're gonna hit self fracture. Let's do 2 recursions. No, maybe not 2 recursions. So what's the plan? You want to use it for the shattered ground for the radio? Yeah, I just want, George, I just want just shattered. I just want rocks that are just placed on the ground and stuff. So you even asking that reminds me that I shouldn't focus too hard on it. We'll just keep on trucking. So we'll accept what this is here. We'll hit move, and we'll put it back into a rock selection. Rocks. And we'll do this again. I'll hold control. Oh, I'll hold shift. I'll select the rock. I will add a rigid body constraint. Nope, that's not the one. A rigid body, dynamic, and we will do mesh. We will hit save, and then we will go to object, rigid body, and then we will go to copy from active, and then we'll hit save, and then we'll hit plays. It explodes, man. It's like insane. Hold on, let's make the regular cube invisible. Okay. So, right now, my object is exploding, and I'm assuming it's because there's, like, things happening with the intersections and stuff. So, the way I fixed this in the past is I'll go to Tools, I'll go to Origins, no, Locations, and I'll make sure that's selected, right? So, when that's selected, then if I hit Scale, instead of it, if I don't have it selected, scaling it, ooh, why is that cube still there? Hold on. Is that why? No. It's just it's just exploding. So yeah, so if you hit scale, it scales the whole cube, but if you hit locations and you hit scale, the cubes separate, right? And you can make kind of cool looking things like this, you know, by like hitting the separation. Look, our brick's over it, but we've been working anyway. Back to work, I guess. Okay. There. Okay, so if you have go to tools, and you go to locations and you hit S to scale. Oh my god. S to scale. Scale it up. I'm gonna bring him up. And then now hit play. Yo, what is happening? Oh, okay. So one thing that's happening is that this floor needs to be applied. Okay. That's number one. But this stuff is still exploding like crazy. What is happening? So I'm gonna select them all. And I'm gonna go to objects. I'm gonna right click, set origin, and I'm gonna do to origin of center of mass. Does that help? It's dynamic, 1 kilogram. It's on the mesh. I think you have a copy physics settings to all. So I have too many like what's happening? This is why I went right when I get into physics, everything slows down. I'm like, what why isn't this working? Because you had convex hull on the others, I think. Did I? I don't think I did. Okay, let's select this one. Let's select convex hull. And let's do the rigid body. Let's do rigid body. Copy from active. Okay. Once again, Jiraj is saving the day. Saving the day. Oh, look at our guy. He looks like a little balloon animal. he's just like moving around like one of those like clowns that you punch when you're a kid. It's like boing boing. It's so funny. Okay. Jiraj saving the day again. Always. Always saving the day over here. Okay, so this is exactly the what I've been wanting. Like this. For our little dude here, where's our dude? He doesn't need any constraints. I'll take that off of him. And we'll hit play. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is Jiraj, just take the win. You always lead. You always seem to find the right thing to say to make things work. Whether the thing you said was the thing you said or not. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to take off locations. You got to remember to take this off because if you have it selected, like I said, if you hit scale, it just moves the objects and it doesn't scale them. And if you have it off, you're actually making the rocks bigger or smaller and stuff. So I'm going to make them small now. Or, yes, I'm going to make them smaller and then see what that does. He gets hit by that rock so hard. Let's once again, why does he have this on? I thought I took this off. Okay, save. We're making the rocks fall. Boom. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I like the way that it falls, right? So that's the pile that I want. So that's the rock that's what I want. So I'm going to make it fall. So boom. And I'm going to delete the ones that fall off. Or actually, why am I doing that? I should just move this plane to a little closer. Make the rocks fall. Okay, so I'm just gonna... What am I doing? Okay, so put the rock there. Put the array. Put it on here. Put 0. Put 1 on the Y. We have more room. Hit apply. Got it. Now we can do this. Okay, this rock is obviously in my way, so we're gonna delete it. There we go. Now we have our rubble. Okay, so maybe do simple animation of radio lowering itself to rocks to let the rock settle a bit around the radio. You know what? That's an excellent idea, Jiraj. You're killing it today. Straight A student up in front, Jiraj, sitting right next to the board. Okay, so let's do what Jiraj mentioned. So I think he's on to something here. So what we can do is we can apply this array like we were going. We're gonna bring back our radio, right? And we're gonna select all our rocks, and we're gonna see how it looks. Maybe it won't look good. Rotate it, kind of like this. And we will make this a solid object, and we'll do that by going into the rigid body. We'll do active. We'll take off dynamic.
I don't know if it's a real job.
And we'll see how it works. Let's see how it works.
Oh, yeah.
I think it spreads it out too much. So never mind. It was worth a shot, Jiraj. So we will go back. We will... There we go. Worth a shot, though. Thank you, Jiraj. So make the rocks fall. Oh my god, what's happening here? Okay. Rocks fall. Boom. Boom. There's our rocks. We will bring back our radio. Radio, 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 radio. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, does our radio have physics on still? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so let's let these rocks settle. I have to let it settle here. I'm gonna settle at 300. There we go. Okay, great. So now I want to bake the position. Also, let's move this back. Let's take out some of these that are in the way. So let's take out that one. Let's take out this one. There we go. So there's our rocks that are kind of looking good there. Settle this down. We'll bring it down here. There we go. So it looks like this radio is just stuck in the ground. And looking good. But the thing I'm afraid of right now is I want the physics to be baked. I want this to be done. So I'm going to bake the physics just for now. Let's bake that. Oh my god, did that just change everything? It did. What happened? Okay, so what I want to do is these rocks are still a part of this physics stuff that's happening. And I want them just to be objects now. So if I remember correctly, and Jiraj, help me, if you remember to bake these, is it bake? It's not bake. Is it what is it? I want to apply the physics so it's done. It's over. No more moving for the rocks. Collection, sensitivity, margins. Alright, we're stumbling through again. Stumbling through. Okay, so the rocks. Da 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 da. Damn it, what is it? Is it in here? It's probably in here, isn't it? Is it apply? I'm gonna type in apply. Apply.
running things on hold.
Did that work? I put. Uh, oh, if I just take off the physics, they reset back. It looks like they just reset back. Like if I choose a rock and I take off the rigid body, it goes back to its normal view, right? So let's try this again. Oh, let me make sure everything's good. Okay. So what's happening? What's happening? No, Susan, no, I don't want them to move. I want just to take a snapshot of this and it to be done. And I remember there used to be like, there used to be a button or something that was like apply the physics or apply the physics or like stop. I should Google this, but I think. Hold on. I'm gonna do a quick Google, guys. Give me 1 second. Blender apply physics. I'm Googling right now. Unless you guys know, I think I'm getting close to the answer here. Okay, I think I found it. So it looks like what we have to do. What it looks like is what we have to do is we have to go to object. Um, let's hope this works. Rigid body, apply transformations. And then objects, rigid body, remove. There you go. That's how you do it. So objects, rigid body, apply transformations, and then I hit remove while they were all selected. So now none of them have the constraint. Excuse me. Okay, did it. We used the physics, and now we can art direct some of these rocks. Like this rock here, a little on my way. It's a little on my way here. So we're probably just gonna delete it. This rock next to this guy, we'll delete it. No, maybe we'll keep it, except we'll move it further back. What if the rock was in the camera's view? What if it was rotated? Like if it was flat? What if it was smaller? There we go. And maybe our radio is a little further back. Or maybe our radio is bigger. Okay, so looking at my frame here, it looks like I have a lot of negative space up here that I wanna fill. So let's see if I can fix that by dealing with the camera. So let's go to the camera. And see if I could just move it around to make it a little bit, fill up our frame a little better. I don't know. What did I do with my sketches? Hold on. So my sketches, I did leave the upper part, I don't know, very clear. So there's something to think about. Um, Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end the stream today. Very short stream today. At least we were able to get something interesting here. Um, you know, is there material that we could put on rocks? We can make these rocks black. All right. All right, guys. Sorry, gotta go. Let me put the exit here. My outro. All right, guys. It was pretty fun to do this. Thank you guys for hanging out. We made something kind of interesting. I think I'm gonna continue this stream. I'm gonna continue this particular image either on another stream or next Saturday. I think it's turning out really good. There's still some work to be done. Unfortunately, had a short stream today. I want to say I appreciate everybody for hanging out. Thank you for being here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and week and everything. So, see you guys later. A goodbye.